Hi there, have you checked the new Enamel Elements Ensemble? Come join me and I'll show you 2 easy ways to add a textural background to your next project. See you in a bit. Hi there and welcome to a new episode of Inspired by a Card with Nathalie. Today I'm going to use the new Enamel Elements Ensemble to create a background for my layout, and the inspiration actually for this project comes from Jenny. She's from the design team and I loved her card. So what this ensemble contains is a set of washi tapes. This is the Glacier Caves Gradient washi tape, so I'm going to take advantage of that to create the background for one of my layouts. And I love the fact that Jenny created a tone and tone background that has texture, so I'm going to use the washi tape to start with. So I have an 11 by 17 piece of cardstock, and I just wanted something really big because I'm going to cut my background and also some of the elements from the washi tape. So I'm just running some of the washi tape. I'm going to try to keep it so in the coordinating colors, so it goes from light to dark. So I'm using the 2 washi tape rolls to create that, and I'm going to do this twice. I'm going to do that on my 11 by 17, which is what's going to make the background for my page, and then I'm going to make it into an 8.5 by 11, which is what I'm going to cut the elements for. So all I'm doing right now is just trimming that 11 by 17 so that it fits into my 6 by 8 album. That's going to become one of the pages of my album. I already have the other page from my previous layout. Those are the 2 photos that I'm going to use. That's my son on his first day of real life, his work. So what I'm going to do right now, and actually at the same time I'm going to work on another layout, but I'm going to show you that later on. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to use the same cardstock that I created, like I said, a second part, not a second part, but a second one, using the same formation of colors to cut the elements. And another piece that comes in this ensemble is the decorative enamels die set, and I'm going to take advantage of the 2 dies that come in that set to cut a repetitive pattern out of the second sheet of paper where I have all the washi tape. So I'm going to create in a way, I'm going to create my background this way, and you're going to see that I'm going to make sure that I place my die pieces so that they meet in the joining parts of the washi tapes. I want to have that color combination, and I want to use these pieces actually to create my background. So it's going to be a really subtle background, but you're going to see that it adds quite a bit of interest too. So I'm going to place my pictures where they're going to sit, and all I'm going to do right now is just going to start bringing all those die cut pieces onto my layout. I'm going to make sure that I line them up to the background so that they follow the same lines. You're gonna see it's super easy. I'm just gonna again take my time, make sure that everything is in place, and then I cut extra pieces so that I can fill my area. I don't want to overcrowd the page. I just want to create an edge on the left hand side of my page in this case. So I'm gonna take my time and glue them, and then I'm just gonna take my pair of scissors and trim the excess. Like I said, I'm just gonna have the edge on the left hand side filled with that. Once I have all my pieces in place, I'm gonna go ahead and glue my pictures using the double-sided tape. This is the glue tape from Altenew, just in place, and you're gonna see that I'm gonna set them in a little bit of an offset. They work that way for my layout. And then for my lines of journal, actually I went out of the camera and actually printed them out on my clear label paper. So I'm gonna just place it in, on my already pre-made layout that I had, and then I'm just gonna bring one of the elements. I'm gonna respect the color formation on the left hand side to bring that element on the right. And just to finish, you're gonna see that I'm gonna bring some of the stamp. Like I said again, this Enamel Elements Ensemble has also comprises of the enamel flowers. You can get the stamp, the die, and also the stencil that coordinate for this set. I'm going to use the stamp to stamp the word hello, and I'm going to fussy cut around it, and that's going to be part of the embellishments for my layout. And just to finish, I added some stickers from my stash, and I'm just gonna add a few enamel dots from the Glacier Caves from Altenew just to the centers of each one of the decorative enamel pieces, die cuts, just to finish my layout. Very simple. I love how this turned out. Like I said, I was really like attracted to Jenny's subtle background, and I thought it was a perfect look for this, especially a very masculine layout. And I love the fact that you have all the colorful background. The key is to make sure that you actually use the same formation to cut the pieces and then line them up on your background. Simple. Love how this turned out. It took a little bit of work just to create the die cut, but once it's all ready, it just took no time. So you're gonna see right now all the a little bit of the close-ups come up, and until that I'm gonna clean up my table to start the second project using the same idea and the another pieces from this ensemble. So you're gonna see for my second project, I'm actually using the same idea to create a layout for my gratitude journal. So what I've done different on this one is I'm using cardstock. It's kind of the same idea that Jenny used for her card, and I'm gonna use a really subtle color blue. I just wanted to stay within those colors for my background. This time I've only used the larger die from the decorative enamels die set to cut a few pieces. I'm gonna go ahead and start gluing it onto my background. I'm gonna respect you know, like that tone and tone subtle texture. Once I have everything glued, I'm just gonna go ahead and trim the excess. You're gonna see that I'm careful just to keep a few pieces in place. I'm not too worried about the bottom of the layout, and you're gonna see just a piece of it because I'm gonna cover it with some flowers. So you're gonna see I've cleaned all the excess. I'm gonna set my pictures. I'm actually gonna follow the same idea that I did in the previous layout, so I'm gonna keep them offset. All I'm doing right now is just attaching the piece that my background in this case to my page, and I'm only gonna use half of it. I want to use the bottom half of this to add my lines of journal. So the difference here is the first one was very masculine. I stay very true to the color. I stay very simple. I play with the color. This time I want to go with a feminine look for this, so I'm going to take advantage of the enamel flowers. I'm using the stamp set to stamp quite a few flowers onto I'm using Nina Solar Crest white cardstock, and I'm using Obsidian ink to stamp all my images. Once I have them all set, I'm gonna bring the coordinating stencil. This is the enamel flowers coloring a stencil, and I'm just respecting the pamphlet, just following the directions of it, and I'm using colors from the new Trailblazing inks to just add that really soft hint of pink. So I'm using Dusty Rose and a little bit of skips my name to bring the pinks onto the layout, and I'm using Eucalyptus, Fernwood, and Jade to add some of the greens to all the leaves. I'm going to use the enamel flowers die set to cut them all out, and now that I have them already, I'm going to start bringing them onto my layout. Like I said before, I am going to set my pictures in the same formation that I did for the previous layout, and this page here is actually 7 inches wide by 9 inches in height. It's a little bit smaller, but what I want to do is I want to bring all those flowers and create a lower border underneath the pictures. So think of it as a way to separate all the texture from the top from the lines of journal that are going to be at the bottom. So I'm just taking advantage of all those curling leaves, kind of like, you know, there's like a little bit of flow to them to create the border at the bottom of my pictures. And then I'm going to use the little space between the one picture and the other one. One's a little bit taller than the other one. I'm actually going to take advantage of that little corner to create another cluster of flowers at the top or in between my pictures. Once I have that all in place, you're going to see that I'm going to take, I think this is the part that took me the longest, just because I play with some of the formation, so I sped up the video so you can see most of it. You're not going to see me gluing it. I'm just going to, you know, put them in place, and then I'm going to take it off camera to glue it because it took me some time. And I went with no foam adhesive. I want something that stays like not as dimensional because I want the textures from the background to show up more. So I want to keep very flat so that you can feel the texture. Once I have everything in place, I added some title using some puffy alphas, and all I'm doing right now is instead of going with a tone on tone, I'm actually going to accent the colors in the flowers. So I'm using enamel dots from the Red Sunset set, and that's about it. I'm gonna add my lines of journal underneath the title, just a few lines down there, and I love how this turned out. This was actually pretty fun to put together two different looks with the same idea. One is very masculine using washi tape, and the other one is like a little bit more feminine and soft using the enamel flowers set. And this was all put together using the Enamel Elements ensemble, which is available now at the shop. You can check all the details of this in the blog, and as always, thank you so much for joining me. Take care, guys.
Hello crafters, Jen here. For more tips, techniques, tutorials, and to discover which paper crafting products are right for you, subscribe to Altenews YouTube channel. Make sure to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Thanks for watching.